to our viewers, to the artists. Hello and welcome to this interview with Alyssa Rose, one of our artists presently on display at the Alpha Arts Gallery's current photography exhibition, Interchangeable Lands, Frame of Mind. My name is Christina Chen and I am an interviewer today, and together we will be going over some of Alyssa's artistic process as well as the pieces that are currently on display to both our physical and online presentations. We're going to start off pretty simple. So how are you today, Alyssa?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. Would you be so kind to tell us a little bit about yourself, your background? How did you, become interested in doing all of these that you do?
So, surprisingly, I was always into photography and videography ever since I was young. One of my first toys was a camera, and all I would do is take photos and videos, but I kind of fell off on it a little bit because, school comes along, and when you're middle school and high school, sometimes that work kind of gets overloaded. Mm-hmm. But, when it was time to decide what I wanted to do, I was like, you know what, I'm one of those people that kind of lose interest in things really fast, and there was just one thing that I never lost interest in over time, and that was photography and videography. So I chose to do that, and I continued to pursue it. And I realized this is exactly what I like doing because it gives you a lot of freedom, and I'm one of those people that's very, wants to do her own thing, wants to live by her own rules, her own life, and that's just that's what I love about art, especially photography and videography, because it's your piece, it's what you want it to be. It's not anyone else's say in your pieces. So that's what kind of my background is. Kind of had experience doing multiple different things with videography and photography, mostly on the videography side. Photography I'm getting into recently, but I did a few internships before videography, ranging from doing music videos to interviews to all kinds of stuff like that. I really just enjoy everything about the industry. So,
when would you say that you actually started to be really serious about photography and getting all the equipments and study it?
I would say around maybe 16 or 17. I'm 21 now. Just because I wanted to do a YouTube channel, like everyone else, so I was really into that. So I started working a lot, 5-6 days a week on top of going to school, and I saved up enough money to buy my first camera. So I used that for YouTube videos, and I decided, I already have all this equipment. I'm just gonna send it. I'm just gonna do whatever I want to do with videography. Whatever comes to mind, I'm gonna record it.
Yeah.
So
do you also have your own YouTube channel where you do videos?
Yeah, I haven't been on it recently just because I'm in the middle of writing a bunch of other stuff and getting ideas. But yeah, I do have a YouTube channel. It's been down for a year or two just because again I'd rather work on a bunch of things and then upload them all at once. Yeah. But I'm just
Of course. Well, so I think this is maybe one of your first exhibition or show. How do you feel about it? Are you excited? How's your family, your friends? What's the response?
I'm very excited. This is crazy, especially because this all happened in the new year. Hopefully, everything's going to stay this way. Everything's really good. My family and my friends are really excited because it's been kind of a hard time with photography and videography, especially because of COVID. So stuff like this is a breakthrough, at least for me, also being 21, to be in an art exhibit for the first time. And for photography, I kind of always did it. I did take it seriously in terms of taking photos of other people, but never anything that was objects or cityscapes, anything like that. I never really realized that I could actually show this to other people.
Yeah. So what kind of connection, or do you have any connection with your works? For example, these two that's behind you, and what was the reason for you when you're choosing your subjects?
So basically, this is the funny thing. I think a lot of people do a lot of pre-planning with their photos.
Yeah.
Or at least they have some type of idea in mind. My ideas actually came after I took those photos. So I just kind of walk around and I just take pictures of whatever I see, and I'm what, this looks pretty cool. I'm just going to take a photo of this. For example, the one here was a sunset, and there was a highway on it, so I didn't really do much editing with those colors actually. But I took a picture of that, and then again, this one was just Radio City Music Hall at night. Afterwards, I was you know what, I want to change this up a little bit. I feel you know, as someone else said before, a lot of people just kind of take the photos, they do nothing with them, they just do a little bit of editing, it's just very plain. I like that style, but I'm more of like, let's make this chaotic. Like, again, I'm a spontaneous, chaotic person. Like, I just want to make it, you know, something I haven't seen before. So I made it to be like this whirlwind type of thing where it's kind of like circular and just, again, it really shows the subject still, but it's just in a different way, a different view.
Yeah.
So again, I got that idea after I took those photos, so I really edited them to be like that, and I just thought it looked really cool, and I was like, yeah, this is something different. And the colors too, like I'm a big, like, I want to make everything really crazy and chaotic and colorful.
Yeah.
So it just kind of fits my vibe as a person, I think, both of my photos. If you know me at least, they kind of fit my vibe, but yeah.
No, I agree. Like, I think that your work is just like a reflection of your personality and characteristics. Like, I can see you in your work. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Well,
You know.
what makes you thought about like doing this, like, you know, edit, like making it like a how do you call it?
Like, I call it like the whirlwind effect.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what makes you feel like, you know, that's an idea? Like, how?
Like, how did I like come up with that? Oh, you know what? I was just messing around. Sometimes what I do when I'm really bored, I'll just go into Photoshop, Lightroom, like other editing apps, and I'll just mess around with everything. And I'll take the same photo multiple times, at least like 50 times, and I'll just mess around with it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I'm like, you know what? There's like infinite options of what to do with a picture or like a photo. So like that's how I came up with this. It was just really random. Like I was just messing around with tools like all the time. Like I said, when I get bored, if I don't have any new pictures, I'll just literally take something and I'll re-edit it a completely different way. And like I said, this one really stuck out to me because I have probably like 15 edits of the same thing. It looks completely different than this. But yeah.
Well, I know you said that usually, you know, like you take a camera and then like your work, they're usually very spontaneous.
Yeah.
But do you have any inspirations? That's like, where do you find your inspirations? Or do you ever like look up like other work from other artists? Anything like that?
I've never looked up any other artists or photographers. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even think I know any that well. I really should, but I get like my inspiration again just from like being in the moment and just kind of being like, what can I do to change this? It's really just nothing pre-planned. Like I said, it's just kind of like instant and sporadic and impulsive because again, it's just who I am as a person.
Yeah.
So I just don't really know like, yeah, I don't know. I don't even really have much of anything. I just kind of put it out, and then again, this one stuck with me. So now I'm just kind of like, oh, I want it to be like a reflection of something like my personality, you know what I mean? Which is again like kind of chaotic and colorful and like I don't know, you know what I mean? At least from what I've been told.
Yeah.
From the outside.
I don't think there's any wrong in like, you know, going your own way. I mean, like it's not necessary to like look at other people's work, you know, find your own style. Well, so then what do you think are some of the biggest challenge, if any, during the process of like, you know, you making your like work and or taking pictures, anything like that?
I've realized the biggest one is lighting, because if you don't have the correct settings, you will add things to your photos that you don't really want to be added, and also resizing is an issue for me sometimes, because when you're transferring things over to like real works, because again, like also, this is one of the first times this is the second time actually in my whole entire life where I printed photos.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a challenge for me, because I'm like, I need to resize things, I need to fix a bunch of things, because like something digital putting it onto like real life like photography and like putting it in a frame is so much different.
Yeah.
That's really where I struggled, but I think I'm like getting the hang of it. It's not really necessarily the photos themselves. I just think it's like editing them to make it like, okay, like this needs to look exactly the same as it does on a phone or like a laptop or something online, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, according to you like took a bunch of pictures, you know, with the same object, and did a lot of different editings. Well, what makes you like chose, you know, to like show in our gallery, like, you know, these two? Like, was there any reasons or something special about it?
For these two, definitely because of the color scheme. I really like the fact that there's like a bunch of different colors, because a lot of the other ones they have, like they're colorful, but these two I'm like, wow, like I don't know, something about them just really like called my name on it. And again, I think these two really describe me as an artist as well, because I really love like sunsets and stuff like that. I'm literally always obsessed with being in the sun. Like I would travel all the time just to be in the sun. So again, like I really like the fact that this one kind of reflects that in a way, because there is a sunset, a pink sunset. And then this one, I'm obsessed with nightlife as well. Like I love taking photos. Like I love being at night. Like, I think both of them are really cool in terms of like who I am, and like I said, I really like my art to reflect who I am as a person. So again, I think that's just why I chose these two because I'm like, these really describe who I am. And
well, I guess in our conversation, it's pretty clear that you have a clear vision of what you like in your you know, photos and like what you want to do in your direction. But you know, you're still young, and where do you see yourself in maybe like a few years, or like is there anything else that you'd want to like try, you know, in terms of like maybe it's different materials or like subjects or like the way of you editing your photos? Like,
I've always wanted to kind of combine like my photography, videography. I also have dabbled in a bunch of different things like producing music and stuff like that. I would kind of want to find a way to combine everything into one like sole business. Like that's where I kind of want to see myself in a few years, hopefully, to combine everything. I don't know in terms of trying anything new, again, because I'm so like all over the place with this stuff. I'm like, it just has to like hit me, and I'm like, this is it, you know what I mean? But it's crazy because it's really just like me going out and talking to people, and again, like going to different places. That's really what just inspires me to be like, you know what, I think I can like mess around with this photo in a different way to make it look like even crazier, you know what I mean? So yeah.
Well, do you have anything that you're working on right now, like any works or any ideas that you would be like pursuing?
Right now, I'm writing down a bunch of ideas on short videos, like maybe like 30 seconds to a minute. I've noticed that the attention span for videos has gone down a lot nowadays because of TikTok and Instagram Reels and all that. So I'm like, you know what, might as well probably ride with that right now. So I'm trying to create a lot of ideas that will fit that 30-second to minute narrative. So that's what I'm working on right now, specifically videos that kind of implement like real life situations and scenarios. I'm one of those people that likes to make videos on scenarios in life and like make it really deep and like personal. So it's something like that. It's not really more so like storylines, but more so like reflecting on like situations in life and kind of overcoming them. So you know, things like weight loss, depression. I don't have depression, but I mean, like, I've noticed a lot of people, I want to, like, reflect that in videos and kind of bring that to awareness, make it, you know, something that someone wants to watch. But, yeah.
I guess that's definitely, like, maybe, like, a new purpose in, like, what you've been doing, you know, and since you were young, you know, you've been doing art-related, you know, photos and everything since you were young. So, coming from your own experience and, like, what you've been doing since you have been doing this for a while, would you have any advice for like people that's younger or even older, just anyone who's just starting to wanting to learn photography? Do you have any advice for them?
I would just say go out and do it. I feel like a lot of people are afraid to do things because they're afraid of people thinking it's bad. But at the same time, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What I might find, you know, different, not really like my favorite thing, might be someone else's favorite thing. And it's like, I think people are afraid of putting things out there as well because nowadays, especially social media, you know, a lot of people could just say whatever they want on there and hide behind a screen.
Yeah.
You just gotta do it. You just gotta send it because at the same time, like, you know, I think every artist also has to deal with their own internal battles as well with their art, and I think the last thing they need to do is be like, oh, what does everyone else think about me? Like, forget what other people think about you, just make your own work, you know what I mean? Like, I've been made fun of before for making videos, photography, whatever. You know, at the end of the day, that's who I am, that's what I like doing, and I'm really happy with it, and you will find people who will like your work. You know, you just have to be willing to get out of your comfort zone. I think that's the biggest thing, is just getting out of your comfort zone, because the second you do that, you're not going to want to go back. Keep posting, keep taking photos, even just go around and like talk to people. Just go out and show your work, you know what I mean? Like, it's so important. You know, that's all I have to say. Just do your thing. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone always has something to say about you. But it's like, what makes you happy? Just continue to do it, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. So, well, thank you so much, Alyssa. I actually do not have any more questions, but if there's anything you want to, like, let us know or, like, tell us more about, you can feel free to do so.
I think I'm running a little low here. I don't really think so. I think you really covered everything, to be honest with you, but...
Yeah, well, you've shared a lot, and, well, then again, Alyssa, thank you so much for speaking with us all today and sharing your insight into your creation, and thank you for...
There's a little party outside.
Who's watching this video. Thank you.
Thank you.